The arc of life. ARC is an acronym, ARC, and it's really about our desires, our fears, and our love. The arc of life is based on what desires we have deeply, what are we often afraid of, and how much love we show. Obviously, that relates to everything that you do in life, but importantly, when it comes to things that we do, the work that we do. And let's talk purely about work, and then we can even think in terms of how you would apply it to any relationship that you have. And if you think about it, work, it's sort of your relationship to work or the people at work. So what's the arc of life? We said it's about desire, fear, and love. So it's the desire for attribution. It is the fear of retribution. And it's the love for contribution, or rather love of contribution. So if you think about attribution, retribution, and contribution forms the arc of life. Invariably, when you're early in your career, you're looking to grow, or you're in your workplace, your first job you've got, or you've just got a new job, you just joined, you're looking for attribution. You have that desire because you have to prove yourself. They say, when you join a new job, you have to prove yourself. And that's why a lot of times people don't change their job. I'm so comfortable here. I don't have to prove myself to anyone. Everybody knows how good I am and what I've done, and I've built a track record. But when you go somewhere new, you literally have to rebuild yourself from scratch. It's like starting at the bottom sometimes almost. And so that naturally brings the desire for attribution, because if people can't attribute the work that you have done, they can't recognize the good work that you have done. And so they wouldn't know how good you are. And so therefore, while you may put in your effort, there is that inherent desire for attribution. So at least people can see that the work can be attributed to you. Now, obviously, not everyone does what is expected of them, can live and meet the expectations, and may not even have the right skills to meet those expectations. So assuming that you have all that, the right skills, the right abilities, and are able to meet expectations or exceed expectations, then there's no problem. But for most of the people, and I say most, it's basically the 80-20 rule. You can think about the Pareto principle here. For most of the people, the challenge would be that they may not meet the expectations. If you think of any individual, it's very unlikely that they have all the skills needed to do their job. And invariably, we take on challenges at workplace, or new things are thrown at us. So we may not have the skills for those. And so if that is the case, then what motivates and drives us? Often, it's the fear of retribution. And that is that you're afraid that, what if something goes wrong? And that's why they say one of the key roles of a leader is to create a culture of safety. So in essence, your desire for attribution is kind of the starting point, but then your fear of retribution becomes the next point in your arc, in your work journey. But then to be truly successful, to overcome those fears, to truly be able to build the greatest products, provide the greatest service, build the greatest company, or be part of the most awesome team, and to fulfill the mission that the organization or the team or the group has embarked upon, it all boils down to overcoming your desires and your fears and really filling your heart with love. The love to be of service, the love of contribution. So the love to truly contribute to building something, to contribute to doing something great. So for example, if you're part of a team and you're supposed to deliver a project and there is a hard deadline, and there is one person who's writing 80% of the code and you're writing 5-10% of the code, it's an interesting point to ponder and think, how much love do I have for contribution? And one can always argue that, oh my God, I don't have the context. I am not in the right location. I'm not in the right place. And that does matter. That does count. But if you fill your heart with tremendous desire or love for contribution, you will be still able to step up and do a lot more. You will be able to say, okay, I see how important this is. I'm going to get on a flight and get there, and maybe take an approval to get the expenses signed off so you can actually be there in the office knowing how critical it is. Or you're going to say, hey, I'm going to stay up all night along with the other folks on the team and do whatever is necessary. And some of this is context, but when you truly have the love for contribution, you will stick with the team. And that's what they say makes a Navy SEAL or any of the people who kind of stick with you when the going is tough. And the people that stick with you when the going is tough is essentially the people who have not the desire for attribution or the fear of retribution, but the love of contribution. So that's the arc of life. The desire for attribution, the fear of retribution, and the love of contribution. That makes up the arc.